Hi guys, welcome back. This is Teri, and today I'm going to tell you what got me into riding a motorcycle. And I have pictures. So let's get into it. Oh, before we do, I'd like to ask you to please consider to subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. I love you guys interacting with each other. It's fun to see, and it makes me feel not so alone. I'm sort of housebound during this pandemic thing. I love it. Thank you. It's like I'm talking to real people. Anyway, here's the story of how I started to ride. We had a really good friend who was my doctor. Talk about kind of weird having your doctor. Okay, I'm in the studio working. What's kind of weird for a woman is having your doctor be your husband's best friend and like going out for dinner and stuff like that. Just saying, it's a little uncomfortable at first. But we became really good friends. And one day I saw him on a motorcycle, brand new Harley. And I went over to their house, and it was in June of 2005, the beginning of June. He looked at me and he said, "When are you gonna buy your husband a motorcycle?" So he kind of caught me off guard a little bit, and there was a little bit of peer pressure, but a little bit of like this adrenaline surge. And I said, Father's Day? Yeah, that's how I got into riding. So Brian agreed to go with me, and we went looking at motorcycles. We went everywhere looking at motorcycles. I didn't know what to get at that time. I mean, my dad rode a Goldwing, and Brian had a Harley. All our friends had Harleys. I knew that we didn't want a Goldwing, so we went to the Harley dealerships. And he helped me pick out a motorcycle. I had never in my life made that type of a purchasing decision and signed my name alone on a loan that large. Oh my gosh, I was sick to my stomach. I knew my husband wanted a motorcycle, but he would never buy one himself. So we arranged it. I bought it. My neighbor went to pick it up and hid it in his trailer. He rides Harleys too, so he hid it in his trailer. So all this time, my heart's going like way crazy nuts, because I know there's a very expensive machine sitting next door that at some time my husband's gonna find out about. So on Father's Day, we get up and we go have coffee, as was our usual. Every Sunday morning, we would go have coffee. And the kids had made signs. At that time, we had 6 kids at home. And they said something like, "Happy Father's Day. We love our mom. Please don't kill her." So while we were at coffee, the neighbor brings the motorcycle around and parks it in the driveway. And Jeff wasn't going to be able to see it because his work trailer was in front of it. And I'm like sweating, I'm dying, I couldn't breathe. It was like full-blown panic attack, hives all over me. Teri's gonna die at any minute. My husband didn't swear. We pulled around his trailer, and he was going to pull into the driveway, and he couldn't, because there was a brand new Harley Davidson Road King with a great big red bow and a bunch of people around it in the driveway. He stopped the car in the middle of the cul-de-sac, got out, looked at me, my entire life flashed before my eyes. He put his hands on his head and he said, "What in the hell have you done?" Oh my gosh. I am so glad that our neighbors and our friends were there, because I wasn't gonna die at that moment. So, they're all there, and Jeff's just wearing like cut-off sweatpants and tennis shoes, and neither one of us, I bought him a helmet. I had bought me a helmet. And in the pictures you'll see, we are not dressed to ride a motorcycle. So I got to where I was so addicted to that motorcycle. He would be coming home from work, or I would call him at work and say, when are you coming home? Let's ride. Let's ride. So we would go up in the mountains and everything out east of our house. One time, you know what? We even saw a bear. It was like a little baby bear cub. And he said, Teri, stop. Let's get a picture. I'm like, no, you don't know. If there's a bear cub there's a mama bear. She's coming and she's going to get us. No, go. So we took off. But every day I wanted to be on that bike. And one day I remember saying, it was probably late summer because I got my first motorcycle, the little Sportster, in September. So I bought him his motorcycle in June. So that's June. I'm going to count on my fingers if that's okay. June, July, August, September. 3 months. Okay? Unless I missed one. I don't know. Around August, I started really wanting a bike of my own. We were on the motorcycle and I leaned up and I said, do you think I could do this myself? I didn't know what he was going to say. He said, yeah, I think you can do it yourself. So I couldn't sign up for classes at that time. And you already saw my classes. If you didn't, I'm going to put the link in the description box of how many times I failed that test. And we bought, I think it was a 2001 Custom Sportster. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bike. So I rode that, and I rode it, and I rode it, and I rode it until the next May. So that was September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 8 months later, I have a Heritage. We went in and we talked to the salesman. I had custom ordered my bike. It came in, and I was afraid of it. The bike was a whole lot bigger than that Sportster was. So I asked the salesman if he would take the motorcycle out, because our dealership has kind of a funky parking lot and way to get out of it. So I asked him if he would take the motorcycle out and point it in the way I needed to go. And he did. I got on the bike, and this is a feeling a lot of you bikers know. That first roll back on the throttle and you take off on something that is so magnificent. Immediately I felt comfortable on that bike. I rode the Heritage home. We rode and rode and rode and rode and rode. We took long trips. That's really my thing. I like long trips. I love them. I love packing up. I love getting out. I love not having the cell phones. I love long motorcycle trips. So that first year, let me see, that was 2006 when I got my Heritage, because my mother was killed in 2006. So that first year, 2006, we went to Street Vibrations in Reno. That was my first time taking a long trip on a motorcycle. And oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I mean, it was like a complete adrenaline rush. It was amazing. And there would be a couple of times I would get back on the bike with my husband, but each time I would get back on the bike with him, it's like, no. I want my own bike, please. So that's how I came about riding a motorcycle. I think it's really funny. I used to go out and practice a lot, and I would call my dad when I'd get home and say, Dad, I'm not liking this. I'm scared. I'm nervous. This was before I had the Heritage. I said, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm really tense. How long before I'm going to feel more confident? And he said, Teri, about 500 miles, you're going to do okay. My dad was a master at psychological manipulation. Because I don't know if it was 500 miles, but that's what my dad said. And about 500 miles, I calmed down and I was okay. So Dad knew what he was doing. And then I had that motorcycle accident where my bike was totaled and started rebuilding it to the bike that I have today. I wouldn't change a thing. I love my bike. I love it. It's part of me. It's part of my world. The people I've met have been some of the best people I have ever come across. They've been absolutely incredible. And Brian, if you're watching this, thank you. You didn't just suggest a motorcycle for your friend. You introduced me to the world and the culture of Harley Davidson motorcycles and motorcycling in general. I cannot picture my life without it. I absolutely love it, as I know you guys do too. That's why, if you haven't joined my Facebook group, hop on over there. This link's gonna be in the description box. Join the Facebook group and post a picture of your motorcycle. You can't post pictures on YouTube in the comments. I want to see your bikes, you guys. Motorcycles are just, I don't have to explain to you. You guys already know. So with that, I'm just gonna say, I'm so glad to be a part of the tribe. I'm glad to be a part of the life, the culture. I'm glad to be and proud to be not only a Texan, but a motorcyclist, a biker, a woman rider. With that, I'm gonna say, have a fantastic weekend. Peace out, and I'll be seeing you soon.